don't compare yourself. Like everyone has a different journey. Like I'm on the older side of things, and like things are only hitting for me right now. There's so many celebrities that you'll hear their stories like, oh, they didn't get their first big role until they were like 45. You know what I mean? Like everyone's on their own timeline, so definitely don't compare yourself to others, because like you're on your own timeline. Like everything will like happen when the time's right. Timing is like everything.
Living Mosaic.
What's good, y'all? I am Don, and I just want to welcome y'all to Mosaic Makers, a podcast from Living Mosaic where we get to highlight the stories of amazing creatives going all the way back to their origins of inspiration to hopefully inspire you to create today. And I am extremely excited today, as for this episode, we have a homie calling in all the way from Manila in the Philippines, but Toronto born and bred, the DJ and producer extraordinaire, Playboi Pocky. How's it going, Vince?
Hey, what's up, bro? Everything's good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know that you were super busy. I mean, you're about to head to Hong Kong soon. I know you're doing a lot of gigs over in Manila. I think you also did a tuk-tuk set, which I loved, by the way.
Thank you.
And you were traveling all over, so I don't know how you handle it, man. It's a lot.
I honestly look at like my friends around here, and they travel and do way more than me. So I feel like I just have no excuses, because it is a lot. But yeah, I always look at people that are like that do more, and I'm like, you know what? Like I want to get on that level. So it keeps me. It sets a certain standard for me. Yeah,
that's fair. And I think especially since in Southeast Asia, I guess you're in close proximity to all these countries too. So it's like, would you say, I know this is kind of like diving deep, but it's like, it's kind of a market where you see so many people going to these places for gigs because it's so close by, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really not that far to some places, and the flight tickets aren't that expensive either. That's one of the best parts about being in Asia, to be honest. Like so many different countries, and it's, you know, maybe just a 2 to 3 hour flight max, and then yeah, plane tickets aren't too bad.
And the community too is like pretty much people in like Southeast Asia, they like kind of like know each other for a bit. Even though the markets seem kind of different on the outside, they still kind of know each other, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the DJs are definitely connected. Not even just DJs, the promoters, owners, MCs, whatever it may be. Everyone's pretty connected out here in Asia.
Makes sense. There's only so much DJs and so many promoters. You'll probably bump into each other, right?
Yeah, and everyone's traveling around too. So yeah, a lot of networking going on.
Oh, that's crazy, man. I mean, you've been in Manila for around a year or so it's, you know, I think a year. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's getting close to there, actually. It's gone by really quick.
Crazy. Well, I mean, you know, while you're doing your thing, I know that you're busy, as I said before. So, you know, I appreciate you taking the time to be part of this and, you know, getting a chance to reflect on your career and your creative journey at this point too. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Nah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
So to start off, I want to go back to, you know, where you were born and bred. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you were born and raised in Toronto, Canada, but your parents were first generation immigrants. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, technicality, I was born in a Toronto hospital, but I grew up in Mississauga my entire life, which is like a suburb west of Toronto, like a 30 minute drive, depending on traffic. But yeah, my entire life I've been there, like Toronto, Greater Toronto area, but Mississauga specifically.
Gotcha. And what was it like? You know, it's really interesting too, because being in a Filipino household, being in a suburb in Toronto, what were kind of the cultural influences that you had growing up in terms of just your creative outlet or the creativity that you were surrounded with?
So funny enough, my elementary school was very ethnically diverse and actually very Filipino for whatever reason.
Is there like a big like Filipino population in those suburbs in Toronto?
I think just Toronto in general, around Toronto, just I feel like when like that generation, like the boomers decided to like move out to North America, they kind of decided between Toronto and California for the most part. So there's just a lot of Filipinos, and also funny enough, my household was in the middle of 2 elementary schools, so my parents kind of had a choice to send me to one or the other, and the other school was not as diverse. So I think my life would have been very different if I went to the other one, because the elementary school I went to was, yes, very Filipino, but also like the people I was surrounded by, we listened to so much R&B and hip hop, and loved basketball so much, and I had friends from the other elementary school, and they weren't like that. So I feel like
Oh,
my entire life could have been completely different if I ended up going to that other school.
no
For
way.
sure, I think for sure I would have been a different person because
So yeah.
yeah.
Damn. So how was that elementary school that you went to? Like, so you said a lot of hip hop, R&B. So it was a lot of diverse, different amount of cultures that were there, or is it mainly Filipino that you were there?
It was just mainly Filipino, and we just loved. We like, just to put it straight up, we love Black culture. Like we watch
Sure.
we watch BET all the time. We tried to dress like rappers. Yeah,
Was
it was
Filipino like
hilarious.
a thing, or was that kind of?
It was starting to get to that point.
Okay.
I'm gonna age myself here a lot, but there was a thing called like Asian Avenue at that time.
Oh.
And that was like before there was MySpace and before Tumblr. It was Asian Avenue, and like it's just funny thinking about how like we were like in sixth grade, seventh grades, or like 10 or 11 or something like that, and we were dressing like wearing these gigantic jerseys and stuff and wearing do-rags. Is kind of
Yeah.
funny just thinking about it.
Looking like Nelly or like the
Nelly, G-Unit was big, Diplomats was big. Those are
Diplomats
very,
was-
very, very important to like us growing up and how we kind of the music definitely like influenced us in the way we I don't want to say the way we acted, because it's not like we were like hooligans or anything, but
no, but it was just a lot of huge cultural influence that kind of
Oh, yeah,
permeated
100%,
into how you
yeah.
express yourself. So
yeah,
yeah,
100%,
dang.
yeah.
So how did that kind of translate into you getting more involved into the creative field? So I think dance was your first passion, right? So how did that kind of evolve you into dance?
I think definitely just influencing the type of music I like, and then in turn it would change. It would be the type of like music I'd want to dance to. So I love doing hip hop and R&B dance, so that's kind of where I gravitated towards with dance. So yeah, I think if I didn't grow up around that music, then I probably wouldn't have been so interested in dance, because I wouldn't want to be doing the dances from like, music videos. I went like things like Usher, Chris Brown, like NSYNC. NSYNC was a big influence too.
For
growing
sure.
up. Things like that were like huge for me.
Got you. And was it like a dance group that you joined that allowed you to kind of get a feel of that passion that you had? Was it kind of like just self-teaching yourself? I'm kind of wondering on how you honed in your craft on that end.
I'm trying to pinpoint what came first, but they both came around the same time. But one was like ABDC, like America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah.
For a lot of people too. And then there was a youth group called YFC, Youth for Christ, and they used to have these dance competitions. And I can't remember if I watched ABDC first or a dance competition from that youth group, but they both like influenced me so much. And then when I saw that dance competition with YFC, that made me want to start dancing, because I was like, wow, this is like the coolest thing ever. I want to learn. And then I joined like that, like YFC. To honestly, I think it sounds so bad, but I did join mainly for dance, even though it was like religious. But it was like a lot, like I wanted to learn how to dance, and everyone was there dancing, and it's kind of free lessons. So that was the first bit of how I got into dance. Yeah.
Gotcha. And how did that involve you into taking it, I mean, I would say more seriously, right? Because with studios, so
yeah, before DJing or anything else, like dancing was like my first love and my first passion creatively. So from there, after YFC, I got more tapped into the local Toronto dance scene.
Sure.
And around that time, it started to happen where choreographers from LA would be flown out to Toronto to teach. So I'd be going out to like my favorite YouTube choreographers to go learn from them. And then at those workshops, like I would meet a lot of local dancers, like from Toronto and Scarborough and everywhere. And then I ended up meeting with like people from this group called C2 Genesis, and that's when I started dancing with them a lot. And then it would just, from there, it was just like a snowball effect of how passionate I was getting about it. And yeah, there's like, it's such a long journey with that dancing, because I was doing it pretty frequently and very passionately for maybe like 7 years.
That was like high school time until like 2019, 2020, around that.
I would say I don't want to say like I retired, but
Yeah. I
I
think.
stopped pursuing it heavy around 2017 or 2018.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I was still kind of involved in it. I still found ways to stay in the dance community. Um, and to
Yeah.
this day, like I actually like since I love dance so much, I never want to give it up fully. So I tell myself I want to take at least one class a year.
Have you done one in the Philippines?
I
Like,
have. Yeah, I did.
oh,
I did.
dude.
Yeah. One of my friends, Elle, she was teaching, she does an R&B class. And I'm like,
Sure.
perfect. This is great. And also, it was also beginner friendly. And I'm like, honestly, that's great for me because I'm washed up at this point. So I'm like, I'm fine to do a chill class and to an like R&B song I like.
Yeah.
So that was my dance class for the year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, super
What?
fun. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad at least because I see with a lot of your creativity, that's like the key word, like the vocab word of the day here.
Mhm.
But I see there's a lot of that sort of influence that permeates through a lot of your ventures or your journey in general. I mean, would you say so that you take a lot of what you've learned from that and it still kind of permeates into whatever you do on the passions that you do, whether it be with DJing or producing and the likes?
Oh, 1,000,000%. I think everything I've done and experienced is kind of I'm able to take something from that. And I've definitely taken a lot from dance, and I still incorporate a lot of that into my DJing and producing and anything in music. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I want to backtrack on that too. So when you said with dancing, you know, it was such a huge passion of yours for like the 7 years or so. I wanted to ask, like, what kind of took that sort of break between 2017 and 2020? Was it just a lot of figuring stuff out before you wanted to explore new avenues to express your creativity, or was it just kind of just a good rest time to kind of
I think it was definitely a growing up process. I would say more so. I think I felt like it was time to hang it up. Like,
Was it
if
just
we're
like
being if we're being like super honest, because I did want to make that like my career and my passion. And
no
then
way?
I felt like realistically, I didn't think I had what it takes. And I know that sounds like, oh, very pessimistic, but I think everyone
No.
needs to be realistic with themselves at times.
Of course.
And I felt like I gave it a legit chance. But after all those years and kind of seeing my like return on investment, I was just like, you know what? I think I need to step away from this, at least in a way where, because I was putting everything into it. I was investing a lot of money to go travel and to learn and things like that, and a lot of just time. And I felt like at a certain point around 2017, 2018, I think I was like, I need to focus on other things career-wise. And it was a good run.
If you
And
don't
I
mind me
don't
asking-
regret it.
If you don't mind me asking, what were those other career things?
Oh, at that time, so if I were to backtrack, I actually went to chef school.
Wow,
And
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, a lot of people actually don't know this about me, but I
Wow.
went to chef school like right out of high school.
Okay.
But it's funny because a lot of that was to kind of, I just want to, one, I didn't want to not go to post-secondary after high school because, you know, as much as my parents are supportive and they aren't like super pushy with me in my career, I still want to like make them proud and like do something and get a degree in something. So food has always been a gigantic part of my life, and I saw that it was only a 2-year program, and I'm like, oh, this is great. It's only 2 years. It's not 4 years. It's something that I enjoy, and I feel like I could balance that out with dance because it was happening around the same time. So I kind of wanted to get that out of the way.
Around what time did you take the cooking? I mean, culinary degree?
2009 to 2011, I
So
believe.
this is like right before, like, I mean, this is kind of like
During, actually,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was very like, I got really passionate with dance pretty quickly as I was doing it, and then I want to do something for myself and for my parents, and so I went to like chef school, and then I did a lot of different ventures in food. Like that's like a whole nother like story, and well, I'm sure we'll talk about some of it like after.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping tabs on that one. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so 2017 to 2020 was kind of just a lot of just recentering, focus, readjusting, taking time to kind of take a step back too, I assume, as well.
Yeah, because it's like a complete reset of my life because I was like, all I knew was dance, and that was like the one thing I was kind of banking on. And when I decided like, you know what, this isn't for me, I was like, well, what now, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because you started DJing like fairly, like, I mean, later, like in your late 20s. So that's why I'm always, and that's why I love getting interviewed too, because it's like, I remember like talking with June, who's like one of our mutuals, Toronto, and it's like hearing him how he just started like music production, even though he's like 28, 29. Like it's cool to see that, you know, it's never too late to start, and if you wanted to do it, the best time to start is now. So this is why I love getting a chance to catch this, because you started when you were 29 when you were DJing. So what kind of I think what was kind of the impetus to kind of start that? Because I think in January 2021 you bought your CDJs, your controlled, like your
I bought my controller.
Yeah. So I'm curious on what kind of sparked that and got you into getting focused on that. So
so that time was around COVID. So I guess you could almost call it a COVID hobby. Although like a lot of people kind of had that, whether they be like doing baking or picking up any type of skill, because we were just kind of bored and there was just so much time. But leading up to that, like I felt like since I did retire, quote unquote retire from like dance, I didn't know what it was, but I just felt kind of unfulfilled creatively because I was kind of focusing on my food stuff at that time. And I felt like there was something missing. And then I didn't know that DJing would be that filler, but I was like, maybe I'll give it a chance, because it was something creative and something in the music. And then to help with that, I was starting to go out a lot more. I was going out to like a lot of parties from like my friends. They're from SLC's GQ, L Jones, Davina, Boy West. And then also I was actually like seeing a DJ at that time. I was dating a DJ. So like everything was kind of in the vicinity. And I'm like, honestly, this kind of makes sense for me to try it out. I just had so many resources.
2019 before COVID and all that. So it was like already, you were exposed to that pre-COVID.
I was very exposed to it. Yeah, it was just all around me. I was like partying all the time. So it's like, it was just all around me. So I was like, you know what? Like I have all this time. And resources. So I'm like, I might as well try it and see if this is what's kind of missing in my life. Like I needed something creatively because I wasn't dancing anymore. So I felt like there was this void in my life.
I'm really curious too, is that, you know, we always say like the dancer to DJing pipeline is pretty like prevalent. Did you see other people that were dancers that became DJs too? And you're like, oh, I could try that too as well?
At that time, no, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I only noticed that like after the fact. So it wasn't, I was never like, oh, I should do this because that's what dancers do. They end up like DJing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, that's something I like. Even to this day, like I find out people, like my DJ friends are like, oh, I had no idea they used to dance. And it's a lot of them. Yeah, it happens very commonly.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I was just curious if that was one of the connections too, but it was just a lot of people you're surrounded with your social circles, and you're like,
exposure.
So, well, I mean, once you got that Kickstarter and you bought your CDJs, I remember just looking at it. I think your debut mix was in January 2021 with Entanglements. That was your first ever, I think, mix, right? I think so.
Yeah. So like when I was practicing, I was kind of just, I think that was my way of practicing. Like, okay, let me make a mix. Like, why not? Oh man, that mix was so long ago, but that was like the first thing I did. And to be honest, like with DJing, I really didn't think I'd be playing in front of people, to be honest. I thought it was a very, very passive hobby. I just wanted to make things kind of for myself.
Yeah.
So when I made that mix, it was kind of like, I just wanted to make it for myself. Cause like, if I were to like really go back in time and think about stuff, like I used to love to burn CDs.
Yeah.
I used to love to really burn CDs. And also a very, very random fun fact too. And like, it's crazy to think about it, but like back in elementary school, when we used to have like dances and stuff, me and my boy were actually the quote unquote DJs.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I wasn't DJing anything, but like I curated the CD and I picked what songs to play. And so it was just funny looking back, like as a kid, I think I always kind of had a knack for like song selection and timing and things like that. Yeah.
That's crazy. And so you felt like it was a bit of that you had already. So making these mixes was kind of making that in a much more technical nuance, I
Yes,
guess.
exactly. Yeah, because actually
Yeah.
like mixing things together instead of just playing a song after a song, like actually blending properly and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I mean, were you nervous when you were thinking about like releasing Entanglements for the first time?
Honestly,
Or was it just,
I
I'll
was
just put it out
more
there?
I was more excited because
Oh, really?
at the
Okay.
time I still think it's been a little while since I listened to it, but I still think it's a pretty decent mix. And I know I was excited because I couldn't stop listening to it. I was just like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this is pretty decent. Like, it's definitely not a train wreck of a mix. So I was excited to share it. I'm like, yo, this is cool. And this is actually before it, like, I don't know if new DJs feel about it now, but like, this is before, the quote unquote, everyone's a DJ type thing.
Yeah.
So for me, I was really excited to share, like, yo, I'm starting this new venture. It didn't feel like cringe to me because it didn't feel like, oh, I'm just like everybody else. But I don't know how if that's how people feel now, to be honest. But back then there wasn't as many. There was still a lot, but in 2020 it wasn't like right now. Right now it is like getting a little saturated.
For sure. I think if anything, that time was kind of like setting the groundwork to what it is today. Where
there's a lot of
COVID
COVID-born DJs, a ton,
Yeah.
and so I'm kind of a part of that batch at this point.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, look what you're doing right now. So like, it's crazy to see. And we could talk about that more and like what you're doing later. But so I think when you were establishing a lot of your stuff, because I know, you posted videos of you dancing or just these random ventures and the likes. But what was it like getting to film yourself like for these mixes too? Because I remember you made an anime music video and you said like you were too shy to show yourself like mixing and all that. So I'm curious on what were kind of the quote unquote obstacles or some of the apprehensiveness that you had when you started releasing like content out there when you started to become more and more into the DJ scene.
I feel like I definitely didn't want to show myself DJing too much at first. I can't pinpoint exactly why, and I also can't pinpoint the moment I decided like, yo, I'm gonna start posting content with my face in it with DJing. But it took a while until I got there. Actually, like even playing in front of people, I didn't do that until maybe like a year after.
I think it was
a while.
A22 with Drake Underground. I think that
was legit. That one with Baby Q was legit my first ever gig.
That's crazy.
Did I play something before that? Because I know actually there was that was my first that was my first like gig in front of people, like dancing and stuff. But that was not too long after I played my first time in front of people, which was actually at a thrift store. Yeah,
wow.
my friends, because I was just looking for any opportunity. So I was hitting up a bunch of people and I was like, I hit up like a barbershop. I was just trying to get any experience in front of people. And I wanted to see how it was because from the people I was talking to, they were just telling me like it's a different ball game when you play in front of people opposed to like, just DJing in your bedroom, which is true. But I think because of my background with dance and actually food too, I didn't feel that much of a difference. I think because dance wise, if I were to take my experience from dance, like I'm okay with performing in front of people. And then from the food life, it's a very high pressure job. And DJing is also a high pressure job. So I think combining the two things, like I felt fine like DJing in front of people. And I felt like that transition between the bedroom to being outside, like I didn't feel it that much. Like I still do feel nervous. That just means I care. But like I haven't ever fully train wrecked or anything because of being nervous. Yeah,
for sure. I think it's really good that you pointed that out too, where nervousness is something, if utilized well, that it's a good tool in order to, hone in your craft, get to be not tunnel vision, but kind of zone in.
Oh yeah. It gives me that pressure. So I'm not too like nonchalant about my gig and I don't care. You know what I mean? So I definitely care for every time I have to put on.
And it's funny that you mentioned about like the cooking, and I'm just imagining cooking plus dancing equals DJing. Okay.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Like I don't know if you've ever watched The Bear.
Yeah.
That is absolutely the most realistic representation of what it's like to be in the kitchen, especially
Wait,
that
really?
type. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No
And that's
way.
actually why I didn't want to work in like gourmet restaurants.
Wow. Is it
Yeah.
that high?
It's extremely high pressure, and like you will meet like a lot of like mean people. Like,
No way.
yeah, because I had to do a what's it called, an internship at like a fancy restaurant, and those were like, I won't say it's the worst 8 weeks of my life, but that really like painted a picture. I'm like, yo, if I'm doing this food stuff, I don't want to be in that type of environment because it's just not for me. Yeah. So a lot of my food ventures were more like, I always liked the idea of like making really simple things really good. So I was never into like fine dining. And also at that time, like that was a long time ago, and all my like chefs and professors, they even knew it, that like fine dining was kind of dying. We are entering a phase in food where like things like burgers were being like done really well and things like that. So it was kind of the death. It's a death of fine dining. Now people enjoy like fast casual, but done really well. Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of a hot take for myself, but when I eat at Michelin star restaurants, I don't enjoy it as much.
No, it's not that good. Yeah, I'd rather have something simple that's like, ew, that will blow my mind, instead of like, you know, something that's like, especially when it's on a plate and it's so small, the portions are tiny. Like I'm not into that. I'm really not into that.
Like personally for me, I just hate the feeling of being in a Michelin star restaurant because I feel judged being there, and I'm just like, am I really enjoying my food? I like going to like a fried chicken spot or a burger spot and just not have to worry about it. Wow.
Like all the Michelin places I go to now are like the more like hole in the wall Michelin places.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're nearby Singapore, so I definitely know there's a lot of places out there.
Yeah. I was in Vietnam, and honestly, like so many of the restaurants had Michelin stars, and they were just like, none of them are like super fancy, but they're just amazing. Yeah.
I love how this conversation led into Michelin star talks. I'm not gonna do it. That's so funny. No, that's cool. I love that you get to give that side, and that's what I love about interviewing, is I always get to learn more about stuff. But so during that time when you were DJing, okay, so the first couple of gigs, it took a while to kind of find, I mean, everyone finds their sound, but it must have been kind of a journey between when you first started that until you started to Bali. It was just a lot of getting as much experience as you can, as you said before, right?
Yeah, I definitely was trying to rack up my experience. Even though I found the transition not too difficult from being to the bedroom to being in person, there's still like, to this day, there's a million things to learn with DJing. It just never stops. But I think one thing I did to rack up experience was I had, it wasn't exactly a residency, but I was there a lot. I played at an izakaya, like a restaurant. Yeah. And those were like long hours, and it is lower pressure, but like I had just so much time to practice my mixing, and also it's almost even more difficult to get people to enjoy the music because you're just background noise at that point. Yeah. But if you're able to like somehow make that where people are actually bobbing their heads or they're enjoying it, even though you're not even the center of attention, I feel like that makes you like really good. So I had a lot of practice in that, and like I tried my ass off, even though it's just a really simple gig and no one's really paying that much attention. And through that restaurant gig, like I was booking gigs off that because I was trying really hard and I was trying to do my best, and like I got a lot of like private gig inquiries from that.
No way.
Yeah. So like for anyone that's like starting out, or even not even just starting out, just in general, like you really never know who's gonna be at your gigs. Like even if there's only 10 people, one of those people could be someone really important or someone that could like give you an opportunity. So it's always important to like give your best and do your best at all times.
Yeah, I mean, I actually wanted to ask that too, is, you know, through these ventures, how you ended up landing like a gig in like Bali. Like throughout that experience, was it kind of just through that, or was it kind of just you were going to Bali and then you saw someone that would be a good person and you just DM them and be like, hey, can I do it? And then with the repertoire that you had from TO, that kind of do it. So was it kind of what was kind of like that process?
Bali thing. So I went on that trip. That was actually a very important trip, that first time in Bali, because that kind of opened my eyes to like Asia and the beauties of Asia, and also the beauties of like working remote. So I didn't go there. It was so early on in my DJ career that I wasn't there to DJ at all. I was just there to like very millennial of me to like, soul search. And I'm
fine.
gonna go to Bali and, find myself and things like that. And I did learn a lot, but from the gigs I got there, I played there twice and I actually just shot my shot. I was just like I was bar hopping a lot, and two of the places I just literally just went up to them and just like asked them like, oh, hey, is it possible like if I could DJ, I'll do it for free, blah blah blah. So it's just really cool to like, they were just like very very small venues, but it was at the time it was very cool to like say like, yo, I did it. And like, not every like, you don't have to be playing giant shows all the time.
Nope.
Not at all. Like even just saying like you got to do it, even if it's a small gig, like you still did it, and it's still experience, because there is more pressure because now you're playing in a completely different environment. You don't know what people like and things like that, and it's just fun. I like DJing. Like I really do love it so much. So I was down to like play somewhere different and see how it was. So yeah, those ones came up literally in person. I just went up and just shot my shot. Yeah,
it's crazy. And I think that's a good point too, is that you never know. I mean, you gather a lot of content, with Bali as well, and you said that it opened your eyes, opened the window into you to Asia, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's really cool to see that. I think another thing as well that we pointed out too is with social media as it is I know that how important it is to be consistent in all that you do. So tell me that built growth between like that 2023 when you were figuring out in DJing and then posting out that content, because I know you were a really consistent poster. So I'm curious on especially 2023 with being that huge growth for you, especially with your TikTok following, how that kind of avalanched for you.
Yeah, TikTok. I'm still consistent-ish on TikTok, not as much, but that kind of catapulted me, my growth on TikTok, and literally what I did, because I was just like watching like videos like, oh, this is what you should do on TikTok to grow. They were 1,000% right. Well, at the time, TikTok's a different game now than it was like 2-3 years ago. But the whole like posting 3 times a day thing was hella legit. So I grinded out an entire month where I posted 90 to 100 videos in 1 month of content, and I like my following like exploded because of that.
And that was just TikTok, right? Because I know in
just
Instagram,
TikTok. Instagram, I was slow. Instagram was hard. It's easier now. Like I'll get to that. I'll talk about TikTok first, but TikTok, like doing those like 90 to 100 posts in that 1 month, I literally grew like I gained like 30,000 followers. I won't even lie.
And that was like that was all your time in Toronto, right? So it was just was it just a lot of leftover content that you had? Or
not even left. No, it wasn't even leftover. It was like brand new stuff. Because because I was posting 3 times a day, it had to be new content,
fresh.
And like at that time, bedroom DJing videos were still kind of hot. Like it was still good. Like right now it is still, but like right now, like the state of like DJ content, I'm like, it's such high quality that like bedroom DJing, like it kind of doesn't cut it as much anymore.
I get you.
Yeah, but 3 years ago, like it was still fine. Like that was kind of the pinnacle of DJ content. Only people were just doing it in their bedrooms or whatever. So I was just pumping out like a ton of content, and because of that following, like honestly, I made so many that was the first time I was like making like internet friends, like international DJ internet friends, because I was popping up on everyone's feed. So I was able to like just make friends off of that because I wasn't able to meet them like in person just yet. Yeah.
Wow, actually that is a great transition, because I wanted to ask, with you getting to get exposed to Bali and then with you getting more recognition or just more connections out internationally, that led you into a very big Asia trip tour in 2024. So tell me, did that materialize out of those 2 factors mainly? Is your exposure with Southeast Asia and then all those international friends that decided, hey, why don't I just do this Asia trip and do these gigs and all that?
Yeah, it did. Because my first time I played in Manila, and it was also the first time I ever visited Manila. Yeah, that was the gigs I got was literally from TikTok friends.
No way.
Yeah. So shout out Bernard, Olive, and Kenny. Like they helped me out, and it was because I met them off TikTok.
No way.
Insanely enough, I met them off TikTok. Like they found like my TikTok and they liked my stuff, and they were contacts, so I just like messaged them like, hey, I'm planning on going to the Philippines. Like, is there any way I could like play out there? So it's just insane how I was able to line that up just off of TikTok at the time.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask that too, because like it wasn't just like the Philippines you went to. So you went to like Japan, Macau, Sydney
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I really want to focus on is, you know, because you're living in the Philippines for almost a year now, how impactful that first trip was to make you want to go back. Because it seemed like that. Tell me how much that week in Manila really impacted your self-fulfillment or just your personal growth or creative growth, professional growth, all that.
Yeah. So I was only in Manila for about 5 days, and
That's so short.
it's so short because I didn't know any better, and also just like my itinerary, I had to be in Sydney at a certain time for a party to do, and
then
so that's
you
why
you weren't even living in like downtown Manila. You were living like in a bit the outskirts, so you couldn't even.
I was in my cousin's place in Alabang, which for those who don't know is like an hour away.
Oh my.
I didn't know any better. I was just like, well, it's a free place to stay. This is great. But then I regret it so much because it was just, oh, dude, the commute was really tough. And sometimes I couldn't even find a ride. So like it was really tough being out there. So I didn't even have that much time to enjoy myself or like really explore because I was so busy doing gigs and commuting. So in those 5 days,
but if it gave you a taste that you're like,
I was like, I need, that was 1,000%. Like, since it was so short, I was like, I need to go back as soon as possible and like figure it out. So I can't remember how long it took until I decided to come back, but then I ended up doing like a 1 month trip on the next time around. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when that 1 month trip was. Was that?
It might have been like a year, and there might have been a year wait until I did the 1 month, and then that 1 month was definitely another like launch pad into like how I was viewing everything, and that's what made me kind of decide that like I think I want to try to like really make a huge leap of faith, pretty much.
Because that was okay. So you said it's almost a year. So you moved in like June 2025, then, right?
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah. So that 1 month was you just being in Manila, doing gigs, getting to connect with people out there, people that you know, and then getting to, as I said, the mutuals that you built up with that. And after that month, you were like, I really want to try this out long term, right?
Yeah. That 1 month just went so well. I was just meeting so many people. I was booking a decent amount of gigs, and like just off of all that, I was just like, wow, I did all this in 1 month. Imagine what I could do if I was there for like 6 kind of thing. And there's a lot of people that I met that they're in the same boat, like where they moved out there after like, oh yeah, I was here for 1 month and I ended up just staying forever type thing. So I got inspired by a lot of people that were kind of on that same path of like, yeah, I was here in Manila for a little bit and I loved it so much, and there's so much going on that I decided to just like move out there. So yeah, that 1 month of just like experiencing everything and getting opportunities and meeting people really gave me the inspiration to like just jump and do like a bigger move.
And with that, when you went back to Toronto, you're like, oh man, this isn't as poppin', I assume, right?
Yeah, no, I always love Toronto. Like,
of course,
it's my home and everything, but like career-wise at this point, and just living situation wise, yeah, when I went back home, I was just like, honestly, I really do miss Manila and like the motion that it has. So like I pretty much made that jump like pretty quickly. I feel like after like 3 months I made the jump, something like that. It was really quick. So, it was really quick.
It was like during winter time of 2025, and then after a couple of months you're like, all right, I'm just full sending it. And
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so this is that was last year. Oh wow, so that's crazy. Yeah. And then during that first month when you moved to Manila, how after that month you kind of settled and you're like, all right, going back to Toronto. And then when you went back, how is it adjusting getting to live there like long term? Because you said it was almost the year that you reached out to it. So June 2025, like that summertime. Tell me how that was, like getting to live those first couple of months in Manila.
Well, yeah. So I planned to be there for 6 months, and I signed a contract for 6 months with my condo. But to be honest, like, because I'm a very realistic person, I was like, there's a chance that I can't make this work out for me and I'll have to leave after 3 months. So this was just
Like-
kind of a test.
Like financially or just career wise?
Both. Yeah, both.
Oh,
I'm like, well, maybe that 1 month that I was there was just lucky. You know what I mean? Maybe it was just a good solid month. So like there's a chance where like, you know, I'd be struggling so hard where I think I need to leave after like 3 months. I was just like trying to gauge like on all the possibilities.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it went as good as I thought it was going to be. I think just adjustment wise, like, yeah, for sure it's different, like moving to a completely different place. This isn't vacation anymore, you know what I mean? Like the other times, like it felt like more like vacation, but now it's like I'm here for work and to live a life. So there was a lot of adjustments. Obviously, the Philippines is a very different place in Canada. So even just things like I didn't even know how bad the rainy season gets here.
And in like Toronto, you don't experience it that much, right? So it's like,
yeah, exactly. Like even in spring, like it won't rain like as crazy it does rain like here in Manila.
yeah,
So that was like one adjustment. Just like dealing with like, you know, the little differences in life, like
for sure.
even just like how different the grocery stores are, and now doing groceries and cooking at home and the differences in that.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, like the little things were definitely like a bit of an adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as you said, it overall, so far, it seems like a great experience. Because, I mean, talk to me some of the highlights that you've had living over the year. Because I think one of the things is, of course, like performing at big gigs out there. Another one was like, I think one of the things that you noted was like how awesome the experience was at Sinulog. In January as well.
Yeah.
As well as you know, you traveling across Southeast Asia on top of just being Manila as your base. So tell me, what were some kind of the highlights of your experiences so far in Manila that really stuck with you personally?
So my first 6 months, I actually made it a thing where I was just gonna stay in Manila all 6 months and not leave and go anywhere. I just want to like kind of cement myself, and really get into the scene and the community and just like meet everyone and like kind of just be a part of the community pretty much. So I was like, I'm not gonna go out and leave. This now 6 month run is completely different, where now I'm trying to travel more and play elsewhere. But the first 6 months, like it was definitely like, let me get into the Manila scene and just meet people and like and play the gigs out here. And yeah, definitely a different change from like Toronto, just like the way that parties are held and the type of energy from the gigs I do here.
How different are they? Just out of curiosity.
The two differences, like I love playing in both. In Toronto, people, they definitely dance more. I very much so miss playing dancehall. I can't really do that out here because people aren't that tapped in at all with dancehall unless it's like really basic Sean Paul stuff. But like in Toronto, it's just such a staple, and like I miss playing dancehall and like seeing people dance to that. And but here in Manila, like they're more in tune with like higher energy global club stuff, and it's more DJ centralized in terms of like they're looking at the DJ. Where in Toronto, they're not really looking too much at the DJ. They just want to hear good music and party in that way. So it was definitely an adjustment too, and a bit of a learning curve, because I didn't have to worry about people like looking at me in Toronto and the way I perform. Like it's still a thing, but here it's like very much so more important. And that's one thing that I felt like I grew the most here, was being more of a performer and like kind of being that figure in front of the decks and like putting on a show in front of people. So that's one thing, like I'm not a completely different DJ, but like the way that I play out here and now that I play forever is completely different from the way I was playing in Toronto.
No, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. Different cultural, different tastes. So it's like, it's not changing yourself. It's more so adjusting who you are in the lens of whatever market that you're in. So
yeah. Definitely an evolution of the way. And like, I'm happy with the way I do now, because like, I don't think I'll ever go back to the way where like I'm not feeling engaged in front of the crowd, because now I just want to be entertaining as like a person on the decks as well. Yeah.
Sure. And I think, you know, I didn't touch too much onto your music production side of things, but when you create, when you do your music production, especially since you got much more involved with that around 2025, I believe, when you make that music, is it keeping that in mind, is to hold into that performance, or is it also just or is it just solely just I'm just making this good edit and then I'll see how I could do it when I'm on stage?
That like the production stuff's like, yeah, that's a definitely different ballpark. Yeah, I think I started around 2023, but 2024, 2025, I started getting a lot more serious in it.
Sure.
But I do love playing my edits out. I don't know if it really changes the way I perform it, but like definitely internally, it hits different when you play your own edit and people like go crazy for
Really
it.
vibe it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like
Have you had that moment like in Manila? I mean, I bet you did, but I'm just
oh
curious.
yeah,
if there's
it's
a
like
moment-
honestly, it's like a drug. Like it's insane. Like the narcissistic side of me is just like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, I still remember the first time I ever saw someone play out my edit and people go crazy for it, and it was like I never knew that I'd feel that accomplished.
Yeah.
And then it hit even more different when it was like me playing it, and I'm like, wow, this is like, yeah, the whole DJ lens is like it's changing so much, and now it's like it's getting closer to kind of the EDM side of things, where EDM producers like they make their own music and stuff, but now we're getting into like kind of like that SoundCloud era and global club stuff, where like now we're also playing our own stuff, and that was like now it's getting into that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, just knowing from the music scene is you're seeing a lot of DJs get into music production because that's as you know, when you have people's edits, like people will know who you are just by the edits, and they don't even know too much about like you know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really crazy to see. I mean, it's not narcissistic at all. I mean,
I think it is a little bit, just a little bit.
If you want to spin it, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's still a good accomplishment to say that you were able to create that vibe for people and for people to enjoy it. So I'm just giving you your flowers to saying thank you for being able to provide that space for people to enjoy. So
yeah, and I think I'm getting to a certain point where like I could almost, like depending on the party, but like I could play a set where it's like maybe half or more than half of it's like my own edits, and like one day I'd love to have the catalog where I could do like an entire set where it's just mine. It's just so like cool. It's just my edits.
And it's just building the catalog, right?
Building a catalog and finding the right space for it, because I wouldn't do it for because I'm a very open format DJ. Like I'll play whatever the room needs, but now like I'm starting to book shows where like, oh, they're there, they like hear me, so I don't have to like I could just play around like what I want to play and not play for what the crowd needs. Yeah.
So kind of in that sort of topic with the crowd. So when you were saying that you were traveling a lot towards Southeast Asia, especially during these past couple of months, how different did it feel going to those different countries too, like in performing? Did you feel a complete difference? Did you see similarities with the Philippines to other markets in Southeast Asia?
It's definitely a little different every country you go to, and I always like kind of hit up friends to be like, hey, what was your experience? What do you think works there? Blah blah blah. But yeah, every country kind of has their things and like what they like and how they react to certain things. And you know, some countries like maybe they won't go as crazy, and you shouldn't feel as bad as a DJ if like you're not able to get a crazy pop. It's just like that's just the culture there. You know what I mean?
Which makes sense. But I mean, at least we're at this era where social media and content is so present. Is this you getting a chance to perform there in the first place is like a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Like, right? Like,
yeah, no, it's fun. At the end of the day, it's just really fun to experience that, play in front of like these people that are in a completely different culture and sharing like what you do.
No, it's surreal. I mean, it sounds crazy, but how does it like your story is still being written, but just looking back, how crazy is it to just like see you take that leap back last year to seeing you now? Like, how crazy is it to just see your experience in like the Philippines so far with what you've done? Like, does it feel like something that's like a pinch me moment that you're like, I'm doing all this?
Sometimes it is. Honestly, I'm like, there's times where I'm like, wow, this really is my life right now. Because yeah, when I first started DJing, I didn't think I'd be playing in front of people. And then
oh wow.
And then even like into like midway through my DJ career, I didn't think I'd be pushing this hard, to be honest. Like it's just I'm just kind of going with the flow, and now I'm finding these opportunities and finding what really drives me and lights my fire.
Because
And yeah,
DJing
it's
is
still
your
going.
full time, right? Yeah.
Now, yeah, technically it's my full time. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So being able to do that and also like it's one thing to like DJ full time, but then to also do that while like you're moving to a whole other continent, that's a huge leap.
Yeah, it does
So,
sound
I
a little
mean,
crazy when you put it like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm just like hearing your
Yeah.
story right now. I'm like, that's big, but the fact that obviously like there's still a lot of things left to do or things to go from, and obviously it's not, 100%. There's always stuff to, deal with or anything
yeah.
like that. But I mean, overall, just looking back on that, it's pretty crazy how much of an adventure it is in general, just doing this, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty insane. Like this past year has been like, if I were to like put together everything I've experienced in this 1 year, it definitely eclipses like the past like 5 years of the DJing I've had. Like this has been like my most insane run so far for sure.
But you would say at least is that those 5 years were necessary into having
yeah.
this run that you had in those 5 years.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Like I needed all of that. I needed all of that to kind of be like where I'm at right now. And I feel like I would never change my process I would have never rushed it. Like if you told me like, oh, I could have done that same stuff like 3 years ago, I don't think it would be a good idea. I think just like all the experience I've racked up is now perfect for me now. And I feel like I know my worth as a DJ and like my talent, that I think like the stuff I'm booking now, like this is not like, I could say like, I deserve it at this point. I think I've worked hard enough and I think I'm accomplished enough to be able to share certain things in certain places. And I would never wonder like I was too early in my career and I'm like, oh, I just got lucky. And there was things like that. I think like everything led up to this moment now where like my career is like really like launching.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I really wanted to point it out, especially since talking to creatives. And this is why I want to highlight the journey, is that it's not just something that, you have it or you don't. I mean, yeah, in some cases you could make that case, but
yeah.
But I think for the most part, like 90-95% of the time, it's like people having this success right now, it took years. Like it just can't be 1 year of like, hey, I want to do this and then you're all that. It takes years to hone in your craft. Learn, right? So like, I mean, as you said, it took those years of learning and I assume a lot of trial and error too.
Tons. Yeah, there's like just like I will never knock anyone that gets like really big really quick. Like that's just the game, and especially the game nowadays. But like for me, just being able to build up that repertoire and building those reps, like playing in a restaurant so many times, playing these like long 6-hour gigs all the time, like all these hours build up. There's so much experience that like is so important, especially like when you get onto these like bigger stages, I guess you could say. Everything like leads up to that moment, and if you kind of don't have that experience, like there's a chance that like your bridge could collapse. I'm not wishing downfall on anyone, but
it's a true thing where it's like if you're blowing up in a year, it's hard. Like that's the thing with like viral influencers and all that.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have this, but then there's so much backing that you need on top of that, like the infrastructure, the business side of things, and all that. So I bet that's like similar analogy with yours, right? Like you had to build those foundations and those nuances. That way, when the stuff does come, that you're like, okay, I could do X, Y, and Z, rather than just trying to figure out along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, like the DJ world is so different right now. It's so funny for me because I still feel like, because DJing is such a long-term game and there's still so much to learn. I still feel like I'm new to the game, but at the same time, I've been in it long enough where I could see the differences, the mass amount of differences that happen now, and I almost feel like now I'm like almost like a boomer where I have these opinions about about like the new age of DJing, because like it's so different right now. It's so different. But like you just kind of have to adjust to the game as well.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what it is. If you stay and that's just any creative department, is that if you stay stagnant, then you're just gonna fall behind.
Like I'll complain about certain things, but like at the same time, like I'll still adjust to it. Like you get complain, but like at the same time, you just got to move on and like accept what it is and just join it, because you'll just get left behind. Yeah,
no, 1,000%. Well, yeah, no, and you're making the most of it and seeing what you're doing, and it makes me really excited to not only see what you've done so far, but to see what you have in store in the future. It's really exciting. So I'm really excited to see what you got, man.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm excited too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just in general, getting to walk a bit into your creative journey from the beginnings of you like over in Mississauga. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Mississauga.
Like now, like how surreal is it to just see your journey like lead up to like here right now, like this spot?
I've lived so many different lives and had so many different adventures that like even if you asked me 2 years ago if I thought I'd be like where I'm at right now, I probably would have said no. Yeah, like this is like right now is like such a new era for me. Like I feel like this year is like definitely a launch pad for me, and it's been like it's going really fast for me, and like but I'm ready for it because like like I said, I've been saying like everything kind of led up to this, so I'm kind of ready for it.
Oh man, I'm excited to see what you have in store, man. It's gonna be cool. And keep on doing you. I mean, as I said, you know, we see a lot of the people's successes through, you know, their social media and stuff like that. But there's so much work behind the scenes, and as we pointed out, a lot of experience to build up to that point. So I definitely do acknowledge a lot of the work that you've done, and I'm really excited to. Well, first of all, I'm really happy to see it's, you know, come to fruition for you. But there's so much more to go to that I'm really excited to see. So
no, it's gonna be crazy. It's only first quarter's done. It's only the first quarter.
Done.
I'm like, there's so much left of this year, and like I have so much planned. So like it's gonna be a crazy year for me for sure.
Well, regardless, I'm so excited to see what you have in store in the future and see where that takes you, man. Well, I think now we're at that point in the interview. You know, now that we kind of got a chance to self-reflect, getting to talk to a lot of creatives, I also want them to share a bit of their advice to the listener that is hesitant or kind of they're struggling as a creative. So I wanted to give this mic to the world for you and to giving a piece of advice to that very creative, some words of encouragement or some advice to help them out. So what would your advice be to get them through that rut?
I think I would definitely say don't be too hard on yourself. I think right now, obviously social media is such a very, very important part of growing your audience and things like that, and everyone kind of stresses about it in the creative field, and you know, everyone's like, I just want to DJ, I don't want to post on social media. Well, unfortunately we kind of have to. But with that being said, like, do it. Yes, it's important to do it because you need the growth, but also just do it because you enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, then like don't be afraid to take a break. Like, it's not the end all be all. Like, it is important to grow your DJ career, but like what's more important is your mental health, and like social media is like, it's such it'll kill your mental health. I honestly wish if I could, if I didn't need it for my career, I'd just quit it. I wouldn't be on social media at all.
But that's the name of the game, honestly.
It is the name of the game, unfortunately, but I say definitely don't be too hard on yourself, and just post it. Like, don't be afraid to post it. Like I've come to that point, and I've always kind of been that guy that like, I'll just post something because you just never know. You really never know. And most of the time, things that blow up are things that you didn't think would blow up. You never know what people will like. So don't be too hard on yourself. Take your time, like, especially in DJing or music or everything in general. Like, everything takes time. Like, you don't want to. It would be great to blow up quick and like have everything handed to you, but then there's a chance that it could backfire on you because you just don't have that experience under your belt. So don't compare yourself. Like, everyone has a different journey. Like, I'm on the older side of things, and like things are only hitting for me right now. So, and like there's so many celebrities that you'll hear their stories, like, oh, they didn't get their first big role until they were like 45. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's on their own timeline, so definitely don't compare yourself to others, because like you're on your own timeline. Like, everything will like happen when the time's right. Timing is like everything.
I think that's a really good point that you point out as well, is, you know, it's very, to be honest, I feel like it's pretty unrealistic for having just a year timeline to get to where you want to, like, to peak.
Yeah.
But it's that consistency. And I think it's really nice too, because throughout those 3-ish years that you do what you do through the trials and errors, it's kind of like a filter that like sees people like, okay, it's not blowing up, but he still loved doing it.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that. And I assume you had that experience in one point or another during your...
Of course, yeah. Mistakes are the best teacher. So it's good to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Yeah.
And, you know, you can't make mistakes if you don't post anything out there, right? So
yeah. If you don't try to shoot your shot with certain things, if you don't try to experience new things, you'll never hit these mistakes and you'll never learn from it. Yeah.
No, I mean, as I said before, you worked your ass off to get a chance to be able to make this work, and look at you now. Like, who would have said, as I said before, like you
Yeah.
performing in a tuk-tuk in Bangkok, or
Yeah.
getting to perform in Manila all over the place, or being in Vietnam out of all places like that.
Yeah.
So you being able to do this, it's definitely a testament to a lot of your hard work, and I really do
Yeah.
commend you, and I'm really excited to see what you have in store in the
Yeah.
future. So.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
Well, I can't wait to see, man. I mean, people are going to check out your social media, so that way they get a chance to check it out. Actually, well, we did conclude this, so how can people find you? Social media, right?
Yeah,
TikTok, Instagram, and all
everything.
that?
TikTok, Instagram, SoundCloud at Playboi Pocky.
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna say this, please. If y'all don't get a chance to check out his stuff, you're doing yourself an injustice. So please follow him, do all that, so that way you get a chance to check it out. But yeah, man. Well, I mean, that concludes the episode. I just want to say again, thank you for taking the time to be a part of this. I really do appreciate it.
Of course.
Is inspiring, and I'm really excited to see what you have in store in the future, man.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was fun. Good time. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being a part of this. All right. Now that we're wrapping up, let's go say bye to the listeners. See y'all, listeners.
Bye.
Living Mosaic.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Mosaic Makers. Again, I just want to thank Vince, aka Playboi Pocky, for taking time out of his busy schedule to talk about his journey as a creative, going from his humble beginnings in Toronto and his Filipino upbringing being fundamental to his curiosity into going into the creative route, as well as his ups and downs, first becoming a dancer and then starting DJing, and then how his persistence and his willingness to learn led him into places that he would have never even dreamed of performing at. So please, if you want to check out what he's doing, check out all of his socials in the description below so you do not miss out on all that he's got. So as we conclude Living Mosaic, I know it's almost the end of the season now, but I don't want you to miss out on content that I am about to release for now or in the future. So if you want to follow, please follow Living Mosaic on our website, livingmosaiq.com, on Instagram at livingmosaiq, and all of our available social platforms. All of the links are in the description below for more. So if you like the show, please show your love by getting the like, share, and follow on all of our available podcast platforms on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. I just want to ensure that we get to spread this inspiration to the world, and with your contribution, you're helping a lot. So I appreciate that. And one way you can help is leaving a good review by highlighting anything you love about this podcast. And that way we get to curate this to be the best experience for you, the listener. So thank you again for taking time out of your day to listen to this episode of Mosaic Makers. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next episode. See y'all.
Love me.